All right, well, Thursday night, Spitball, how's it going, everybody? Before we get started, Ben should probably just tell everybody to go back and watch Tuesday night's video because we had Chad Michael Collins from the Sniper series joining me for Rapid Fire, and that's really fun, so check that out. But anyway, we've got some spit and some balls to throw here, mate. You and I have a tendency to prattle on, and we average around 4 spitballs each, I think, so I think we'll go for that today.
Excellent.
I'll go first.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna. You. Okay, that landed on the Factory. Do you know the Factory? John Cusack.
No, I know Animal Factory with
Yeah, well, that's not what
Edward
I landed
Furlong.
on. No, look, we don't have to spend too much time talking about this one. It's a kind of 7-esque thriller.
Right.
With John Cusack and Jennifer Carpenter. And look, to be honest with you, I think it's actually pretty good. It's, for a direct-to-video release.
Is this This is a latter Cusack.
Yeah, I
film,
reckon I'd hazard a guess around 2013, 14 maybe.
During the heyday of latter Cusack films, before they got really bad.
Yes.
Why is this in your collection? I mean, I don't want to judge, but this is an odd one.
Well, because I think it is actually pretty good. Like I like 7 knockoff movies. Like your Resurrection and your what's another one? A Bone Collector, that kind of thing.
I mean, Bone Collector. I didn't realize I didn't realize that there was a subgenre of 7 knockoffs.
Yeah.
But that is a fantastic thing that exists.
It is absolutely. And look.
I mean, fucking Bone Collector, though. Bone Collector for me was the beginning of the end of those thrillers where the killer was someone that they knew, but they had to throw in all the red herrings so that you wouldn't pick who it was. And up until that point, it was always like a main character, and then Bone Collector comes along and they're like, no, it's the technician that fixes the machine that's in it for 2 seconds. Like, fuck you. Like, put a bit of effort into the mystery, mate.
But dude, that guy is in Resurrection as well as 7. Like they just cast the same bloody guy.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what his name is, but he's also in what's the Christian Slater Very Bad Things, that original Hangover movie with the dead hooker.
Was it, which I remember being very good, a very good film, but I don't remember who that
Daniel
guy
Stern.
is. I get the feeling, is it the guy from Taken? In Taken, how he's got his friends are all like CIA agents that kind of bring him back into the thing for the Holly Valance job. And the main guy is that kind of nerd. Like, I love it because all of the guys are like people who would otherwise be playing nerds in other action. They would never be the action guys in the action movies. They'd always be like tech support, like John Grease from The Pretender and stuff like that. Like, those are the guys that are which is like actually legit how it would work, because when you've got guys going undercover, you do not go and pick these big muscular guys who stand out in a crowd. You pick the unassuming guy that no one pays any attention to. They're the spies. I mean, and that was the kind of best part about that, the beginning of the Taken movies. But I think it might be that guy.
This is exactly why we only reach 4 spitballs. Do you want to go?
Sure. All right. Here we go. All right. That is hit. Oh my God. Do you remember now this, I don't know if this breaks the Good Movie Monday rules, but it was,
TV?
Do you remember? Well, it is and it isn't. It was, do you remember the TV show Sidekicks with Gil Gerard from not Battlestar Galactica, from Buck Rogers and Ernie Reyes Jr. There was the little martial arts kid.
No, don't remember.
He appeared in a bunch of MacGyver episodes and stuff. It was a great TV show, but Disney back in the day would release the pilot episodes of these TV shows basically as TV movies.
Yes.
And this tape, the movie was actually called, I think, Electric Nights, or is called Electric Night, and it had 2.5 Dads was the other, because they always used to put 2 of them on there so you didn't feel cheated by the 60-minute runtime.
Yeah.
And they did the same with, like, Mr. Boogedy came with Fuzz Bucket as the second feature.
Yep.
and stuff like that. But it was a great show because basically, I think his granddaddy's like K. Luke from Kung Fu, but Gil Gerard's a cop, and he investigates the I believe from memory the murder of Ernie Reyes Jr.'s grandfather. And then somehow winds up being the guardian of Ernie Reyes Jr. And Ernie Reyes Jr. is like, he would have been about 3 foot tall, but he was like a martial arts kind of expert. And so then they end up, and he ends up, he can beat up all of the bad guys. So while Gil Gerard's getting punched around, Ernie Reyes Jr. kind of saves the day. And then, Gil Gerard basically adopts Ernie Reyes Jr. and they go, and the rest of the series sidekicks is them solving crimes together. Not to be confused with the Chuck Norris, Jonathan Brandis Sidekicks movie, which is not the same thing at all.
First thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a fantastic series. And Ernie Reyes Jr., I think he pretty much disappeared. He was like this super cute little kind of kid. I think I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if he's not the kid in Golden Child as well. He may be the Golden Child. Right. I'm not sure. Cool. But
I've never heard of it.
I'm shocked that you didn't watch this on TV back in the day, the series, because it used to be on like prime time.
Maybe I haven't. I've just forgotten.
Just blanked it. But the last thing that Ernie Reyes Jr. was in that I saw, he was one of the kind of jungle militia in The Rundown, aka Welcome to the Jungle. The guys swinging on the. Peter Berg directed it.
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah, and how he gets into that fight, like Sean William Scott kind of gets him into that fight where he's swinging on the vine, on the rock, swinging on the vines, and the other guy's just beating the bejesus out of him. The guy beating the bejesus out of him is an older Ernie Reyes Jr. So there's that.
Shows you how professional I am. I'm like, looking at you on my computer.
Yeah.
Forget that I'm actually recording from a tripod. So when I go to say that's the second time we've had Peter Berg mentioned on this episode, I'm like doing this to you on camera, like when I should be up here. Anyway, take that back. Peter Berg twice on an episode.
Gotta love Peter Berg. Love him as an actor. Love him as a director.
All right,
Battleship is a great movie. No, it's not. No, that's a lie.
Terrible movie. I'm going to try and lob mine over the camera, so let's hope that I don't land on the lens or anything like that. Oh, hang on. That landed on a poster. Sorry, Pinhead. All right, give me a sec.
Was it Hellraiser poster?
Yeah, Hellraiser 3.
Hell on Earth.
Yep. All right. Oh, that landed on Pimpin Peewee, which is also known as Porky's 4.
Porky's 4. That's
now,
another.
If you go back and listen to like a past podcast, it might have been our franchise show. It may have
Am I on this podcast?
No, but this
then that's
was
not
one
going to happen.
That I'm talking to the people at home, mate.
Oh, okay. I just thought it's just you and me here in this room.
Yeah,
talking to each other.
We did a whole episode on the Porky's franchise and went into discussion at length about Pimpin Peewee. Plus, there's an interview on our website as well as our Podbean channel where I have an interview with Brian Trenchard-Smith and talk about Pimpin Peewee.
It is a shame that on this week's podcast that we only focused on action DTV sequels rather than sex comedy DTV sequels. Then we could have talked about Porky's.
Who's to say we can't at a later date? That's why, mate. Don't bite off more than you can chew in one hit.
There'd be a lot to cover, yeah.
Savor it, mate. We can have a whole episode about that. But anyway, Pimpin Peewee, real quick. It's officially the number 4 Porky's. It was made purely for the purpose of retaining the rights to the franchise.
The best reason to make a movie
yes,
under the sun.
It was never supposed to be released theatrically. I think it had one television run, and that was enough for it to do the job of retaining the rights. And fortunately, someone was smart enough to make a copy of that and put it out there, so it's on YouTube or whatever. It's a decent movie.
It's not on the Porky's box set. It's not on the Porky's box set? No, right.
And it's also like a contemporary kind of sequel. So it's the same characters. It's a continuation of their story, but just in modern times. They just didn't give a shit to go into the production of 50s and 60s or anything like that.
So it's basically an extra feature from Sex and the City. It's like the Kim Cattrall character.
You could box it with the American Pie DTV movies.
Right, okay. Oh, okay.
And here's
the Eugene
an
Levy
fact.
spin-offs.
this movie never had a poster created, and if you go to IMDb and look at the poster art for this film, it's something I designed. So that's all my doing.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. So your turn.
My turn.
Oh. In fact, it's the poster I flashed on the screen when I landed on it.
Just then?
Yeah. Just didn't you see it?
No, I must have missed that. I must have blinked.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, that's actually this is one of my favorite movies in this director's catalog, Subway. I know he's been cancelled. Luc Besson has been cancelled because he touches actresses inappropriately, or allegedly touches actresses inappropriately.
Hang on, stop. I said I don't care about that. I do care about that, but I don't care that he's been cancelled. We can talk about him.
Right. Okay.
I shouldn't have to preface this shit, but the world we live in.
Yeah. But so it's Christopher Lambert, who we discussed on this week's show briefly. Isabella Gianni, ass-kicking soundtrack. Jean Reno is in it. It is an excellent film. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it from the minute it starts to the minute it finishes. It is just pure entertainment, in my opinion.
Glory days of Besson. Like he was prolific back then in a different sense. Now he produces a lot of stuff, which.
And I like that too.
I like the stuff he produces now better than the stuff he directs now. Whereas back then it was the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like The Big Blue, that's just a magnificent film.
Funnily enough, The Big Blue and The Last Battle, or Ladonia Combat, or whatever it's called, are the two that I haven't seen.
Right. Go to the director's cut of The Big Blue. It's 3 hours, but it's absolutely amazing.
Because they're competitive divers or something. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, like deep sea divers where you hold your breath for as long as you can, but you've got to go right down to ridiculous depths. It's a great film.
Like, I'm shocked that it is the one. Like, I think it's one of the kind of his highest kind of like rated in terms of like Rotten Tomatoes and critic ratings and all that sort of stuff.
It's very cinematic.
And I'm surprised that it's the one that I haven't seen. Like, I mean, I've seen that the one with Michelle Yeoh, that the lady.
Oh, the lady, yeah.
The lady. Like, I've seen that, but I haven't seen Big Blue.
That was a pretty good movie.
Like, I don't think, like, people have their issues with Valerian, and it's certainly. Yep. I mean, my take on Valerian is that it's the Fifth Element, but instead of the charisma of Bruce Willis carrying the film, you've got the charisma of no one. Like that kid, and the two leads in that movie are the weak spot of it.
It felt like, I mean, it was a bit like Jupiter Ascending, like on a lesser budget. Even that was pretty,
No,
I liked it, but
I thought Valerian was a lot better than.
Wow.
I liked Valerian a lot better than Jupiter Ascending, but I mean, like a dog. He's a dog. That's ridiculous.
Here we go. Moving on. Right. Is it my go? Yes. Definitely.
Can we talk about Valerian some more? Can you hit Valerian so we can talk about it some more?
All right. Here we go. Oh, okay. Well, this is just fortuitous. That landed on Umbrella's latest title on Blu-ray, The Last Wave, with Richard Chamberlain. And this is weird that it landed there because I just watched this, was last night or the night before, recently anyway, and I'm going to be doing a video on it. So, The Last Wave, have you seen it?
A video? What do you mean a video?
I'm going to start doing some more video reviews, similar to what I do for Scarefest, but just for just random films.
Yeah. No, yeah. I haven't seen The Last Wave. It's one that has, like, while it has been available, I haven't been able to ever find a copy when it's kind of popped into my head to go and see. Like, it's just not anywhere.
It's the movie Peter Weir made after Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's a really... Look, I'd seen it once or twice back in VHS days. The new restoration is delightful. It's really vibrant. But I had forgotten what a surreal, nightmarish kind of film it was. Because it's all about Dreamtime and Richard Chamberlain getting caught up in local tribalism in Sydney with some of the Aboriginal tribes that it was believed there were no tribes in a city.
I was going to say...
Yeah.
Does this movie get into trouble like Frog Dreaming kind of does with the whole mystical black man kind of stuff that's now, not really politically correct?
Kind of. I mean, there is elements. Well, no, because Richard Chamberlain, the gist of his character is he has visions of this tribe, and trying to.
But David Gulpilil's in it, isn't he?
Yes, well, David Coppola plays the leader of the tribe that is in the visions, and but it spirals into a nightmare where they go subterranean through all the tunnels of Sydney, which turn into caves, and there's all this Dreamtime stuff going on, and it's very dreamlike, and it's a visceral delight. Like, I'm talking it up, but it's a good release. The Blu-ray is well worth it. It's I didn't know it was so colourful.
It's definitely one that I'm picking up, but the way you describe it just now, so it makes it sound like the A version of Alien from LA, the Albert Pune film.
Oh, how good is that?
I love Kathy Ireland, and I love that film, but her voice in it drives me insane.
Yes, I would agree. She's the weakest link.
I don't know, but it's like, but obviously she was told to do that voice.
Well, yeah.
She's not talking in it. That's like how Kathy Ireland normally talks. I'd put the blame squarely on your good pal there for giving her that
Albert,
that odd bit of direction.
Albert,
like, no. What's this? Your second or third film? Your first in a lead role? Yeah, do an accent. that never goes wrong.
Well, he
or
makes
did they? Maybe they dubbed
having,
her. Maybe they dubbed
Deep
her. Maybe
Roy.
it's not her.
Deep Roy is down there, and what a production design that one is.
It's phenomenal. And look, I got to tell you, like, I never understood when the Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing came out and Deep Roy was playing all the Oompa Loompas and stuff. And I remember people were making a big deal about the fact that it was Deep Roy. And I had no idea what they were talking about. And it's only like now that I see his name popping up on all these kind of iconic films, I'm like, holy shit. Like I've never heard of this guy. Like I didn't know what people were talking about. But this guy's been in a bunch of awesome shit.
I think, you may beg to differ, but Alien from LA is almost Terry Gilliam type of territory.
Well, look, that's much nicer than saying it's almost Mario Brothers territory.
I think
the Mario Brothers movie. Yeah.
I'm starting to feel offended.
I actually really like the Mario Brothers movie. I'm just going to put that out there.
I apologise that we went from The Last Wave to Mario Brothers. Throw your fucking spitball, mate.
Only on Good Movie Mondays can this happen.
Yes.
Oh, is it me again?
Well, I landed on The Last Wave.
Okay. All right. Oh, that hit. Have you heard of this film, Trigger Happy?
I've heard of the Weird Al Yankovic song Trigger Happy.
No, this is not that. This is not that. There's nothing to do with that.
Happy.
It was released in the US as Mad Dog Time.
Yeah, is that Uma Thurman?
No, that's Mad Dog and Glory.
Jesus.
No, this is. Although surprisingly enough, like this has an all-star cast. I'm very surprised that Uma Thurman isn't in it, but it's like, let's see if I can remember all the names. Okay, so it's Jeff Goldblum is the lead, but then there's Gabriel Byrne, Burt Reynolds, Kyle MacLachlan, Julian Sands, Gregory Hines, Henry Silva, Diane Lane, Ellen Barkin, Billy Idol pops up. It's directed and also stars Larry Bishop, son of Joey Bishop from the Rat Pack.
Yep.
Michael J. Pollard is in it.
Is Larry Bishop the guy that directed Hell Wheels?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's that guy.
I do know this one. I haven't seen it though.
Funnily enough, it got some kind of a theatrical here because I saw it at the Astor. I think on a double with maybe Crash, David Cronenberg's Crash, or that, or Twilight, the Paul Newman detective
Sarandon
movie. Susan Sarandon, Gene Hackman, James Garner, Stockard Channing, also an excellent film. But this movie is basically set in a. Oh, that's right. And what's his name is in it too? Richard Dreyfuss. So it's like this weird kind of parable of kind of, God kind of thing. Like it's all these kind of gangsters, and Richard Dreyfuss is the kind of the gangster who controls the city. He's the biggest, baddest gangster there is. And when he breaks up with Diane Lane, he basically has a bit of a breakdown and checks himself into a mental facility. And so he's gone for a couple of years. And while he's gone, Gabriel Byrne, who's his kind of second in command, there's all these kind of like different factions kind of start running amok.
Yep.
And Gabriel Byrne tries to keep it together, but he's just as corrupt and stuff as everyone else, trying to make his own kind of power base. And Jeff Goldblum, they have these great like disputes are all settled by these kind of like gun duels, like in a Western, but they sit at boardroom tables across from each other, and the gun kind of sits on the table, and they pick up the gun and shoot each other. Jeff Goldblum is Richard Dreyfuss's number one kind of shooter.
That sounds weird, man.
And it's all done in a kind of, it's like a 60s, like it's got a very kind of stylized kind of 60s sensibility to it. Everything is ultra cool, very kind of Rat Packy. It is an excellent film, like really, really good. And like like I've just listed, like a phenomenal cast. Like this guy must have pulled in every favor. Like, I mean, it was in the Tarantino kind of, like Tarantino had just kind of broken, I think, when this stuff had come out, and he was like it was very kind of Tarantino-esque. And so people were always, everyone wanted to be get their career back like John Travolta did. So all these people who were kind of slowly fading.
Kind of reminds me of like movies like Masked and Anonymous and things like that, where you've just got this stellar lineup of cast, but no one's ever heard of the film or did very little. But I think I've got one more to go here. Let's just do it real quick because and then you can do yours real quick and we'll sign off because I think we're getting close to the half-hour mark here.
Really?
And we do. I reckon maybe. Got to be at least 20 minutes. All right. Which direction am I going in? We'll go back for Blu-rays. Yeah. Okay. This landed on a Blu-ray that I got for free. It's
always a good sign.
The Dinosaur Project.
Never heard of it.
I enjoyed it. It's essentially the Blair Witch Project, but with dinosaurs. So,
so the dinosaurs stand in the corner, or
well, it's kind of like it's kind of like a Jurassic Park scenario where a bunch of people go onto this island or whatever to explore and end up being terrorized by dinosaurs. But the film is shot in found footage form.
Right.
Which I think is effective if you haven't got a budget for actual dinosaurs. Then just sort of imply that they're there and have the camera go all ballistic, and occasionally you get like a flash of dinosaur, and that's sort of like practical, like a puppet that they've got up close with and just shaking the camera around. And it's a fun movie. I think it's worth watching.
It sounds really good.
I remember getting it for free. I can't remember why, but I do know I didn't pay for it. But when I watched it, I'm like, I would have probably paid about $10 for that. And it's Blu-ray, so
yeah.
Anyway,
it sounds pretty good. Like I would be interested in seeing it.
Dinosaur Project. Check out the trailer maybe and see what you think. But then have a go. You throw yours.
Yeah. All right.
We're good.
Yep. Funnily enough, that did not hit a DVD or a Blu-ray, but it did hit a set of June trading cards that somebody had sent me. And it's good because I've seen a lot of chatter lately on Instagram about people waiting for a June trailer and like a new June reboot, which I, once again, living in my VHS bubble, I didn't even know that was happening.
Look, I can't pronounce his name. It's the Denis Villeneuve or whatever, the guy that made the new Blade Runner and Sicario and Arrival. That's his new film.
Okay, so he's doing a Dune remake. Is it based off the Jodorowsky Dune, or is it based off the Frank Herbert?
The books. Based off the books, and it's got Josh Brolin, it's got Timothée Chalamet, and
of course,
it's the stills,
I'd hate for them to do any kind of original casting.
The stills look amazing. Looking forward to the trailer. There's a lot of anticipation.
The spice melange. I hope there's a pug in it. I hope there's some more Deeb. There needs to be a lot of more Deeb in it.
Yes.
Hopefully they can bring back. Yeah. he's playing one of the sandworms. And it's an amazing transformation. Who's going to play Baron Harkonnen? What fat, disgusting creep are they going to get to play him? Am I up for this role? I haven't heard anything. But,
oh, well, go on, speculate. Who could they have?
who could
Be
they
careful.
have?
Be careful. You don't want to be cancelled.
What's John Goodman doing these days?
He's thin now.
He's thin now, yeah, but that makes him look even weirder. But he could be a pretty good Baron Harkonnen.
But he probably has all that loose skin. You could just pump him back up.
Yeah. I mean, are they doing it? So who did you say was cast? Timothy Chalamet, and who was the other one?
Josh Brolin.
So are they, because the other, I mean, apart from, oh no, I suppose they were mostly, there was a couple of English actors in the original Dune, wasn't there? And then there's like a lot of English actors but then a lot of American actors. Paul Smith is in it, for Christ's sakes. That guy couldn't act his way out of a paper bag, and yet somehow he's awesome in it.
Well, the fat English actors have either died or lost all their weight. Like Timothy Spall's thin as a rake now, and the fat guy from Harry Potter's dead. Like, you know, the other guy from Harry Potter.
They could just fat suit him, I suppose, like in all those like the Tim Allen Santa Claus. Yeah, Meaning of Life. Yeah. They perfected the technology in The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy, so they could totally fat someone up. Nice and easy.
Hercules. Oh man, I think we've disgraced ourselves.
June and Buddy Love.
It's all about Deep.
They go together.
Deep Roy. It's all about Deep Roy's.
Maybe they'll get Eddie Murphy to play Baron Harkonnen. Why not?
Oh, yeah, why not?
What's it? What else is he doing? He's done
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
He put on a bit of weight for Dolomite, so he's he's willing to go there.
Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Coming to America 2.
Ah, the sequels that had to happen.
Yes, in my world, absolutely.
Like, I mean, who? Like, Ronnie Cox is still around, isn't he?
No,
I don't know.
Passed away.
Did Ronnie Cox pass away?
I'm pretty sure.
What about what's his name? Taggart.
John Aston.
John Aston, is he still around? I think he is still around.
I thought he passed away too. Let's quickly check this before we go. There's people screaming at the screen right now.
Judge Reinhold is definitely still alive.
Yeah, he is.
Bridget Nielsen could come back. Balky could come back. Bridget Nielsen could come back. Because I don't think does she get killed in Beverly Hills Cop 2? I don't know if she gets killed or she just gets arrested.
Hang on. What was his name? John Aston's bloody Addams Family.
John Ashton.
Yes, John Ashton.
From...
Yep. Where is he? He's still kicking. He's 72 years old.
So he can come back. He could be the new chief of police.
Well, no, Billy Rosewood was the chief of police in Part 3, mate.
Jesus Christ, was he? That's how little of that film. I don't remember anything except for cousin Balky and the gun, and George Lucas waiting in line to get on the Ferris wheel. I'm like, what's George Lucas in this? Oh. And then I was like, oh, it's because it's a John Landis movie, and all he does is get his director friends to have weird cameos.
You know what? Nobody cares about any of this, not even my camera, because it stopped recording about 30 seconds ago, so I reckon we wrap up there.
All right. My camera's still going strong. It loves it. Yeah. It's loving all this Beverly Hills Cop 4 talk.
I'll catch you next week, dude.
See you next week.